don't want to brag, but I made that out of a already broken MRC Rotor Winner like brush guard. Cut it down, drilled the ends, drilled the frame, drilled the screws or the holes for the screws for the back of my servo, and I have a really clean little mount for my servo. And I reused the screw hardware that was holding the knuckles of the front axle on that are now my limit strap mounts. They're also holding the ends and knuckles on. So that is a pretty nice little turnaround for this, and someone drilled a bunch of other holes in this for the sway bar. May have been me years ago. I don't really know. It's probably been, I don't know, probably 6 or more years when I built this thing for some dude at work, or a few jobs ago work. So, yeah, I think everything's good to go, other than I will try and make a front sway bar. Drive shaft's good to go. I need to find give me a hotshot little part to make my rear like limit strap finished on this side. And then I think it's just clearancing a little bit of the body that I was already cleaning up the cuts on to then fit around the shock mounts and a few other little things, and then make some better body to frame mounts. Then electronics, and this should be good to go. Trying to get everything cleaned up in the hobby room and organized, so eventually I've got some ideas for brushless on my Lego crawler that's over a decade old, which we might tag the old YouTube channel. It's a long story. Basically, Yahoo deleted my old email, and that's why this whole, like, you're getting lore right now why there's a Various Engineering and not a TRJ62 YouTube channel. So yeah, we're gonna put brushless on the little buggy crawler thing, and we might do something better for a motor on, well, old like Technic buggy. We got our cool one there. The Link Dead Bug or whatever I called it years ago. Made some progress on that. I got a cough. This weather is getting to where it's really cold, but it's not so bad. I've changed a filter in my furnace. It helped. So getting to this, these are some random, not the greatest wiring headlights that were on a four-wheel drive Blackfoot, or just a parts Blackfoot I used buy off of for my four-wheel drive Blackfoot that you guys have seen. And yeah, these are a big enough reflective lens. They'll cover both my headlights for like the two headlights together. So we're going to modify that and put some new LEDs on, because these are the old school little like halogen style bulb. I might throw power to them because it's already been wired up for a 9 volt and see if they work. If so, I'll clean up all this. They literally just hot glued the wires together after they had twisted them together. So I'll make that and solder and like heat shrink and stuff. If it all works, I'll be pretty happy with it and just get put into this. So you don't have to have the truck on to see some really cool shots. So there's that, and we're gonna swivel past everything. Still a mess in here, but it's progress. I'm gonna be getting those posted for sale. Sold some extra clodbuster parts I will never use to cover some other RC projects. We'll get the other stuff sold, and here's a Tonka van that I am eventually going to put the clodbuster axles under. And then we have our little stubby one that I'm trying to make look like a Dodge like street drift van. That will be a mess, but I'm getting parts together for it. We got our little what is it called? A Traxxas Street Sport I made into a like stadium truck years ago, and I'm just kind of goofing around with getting a few little things fixed up on, but it's a really good one to rip around the track. I'm starting to spin around. We got other Tonka we'll get to. It's taking forever. Cleaning up a mess. There's parts for my pre-runner Tonka. We will get to that when we have time. When I get into the garage, it's just been really cold. I don't feel like going out there and dealing with the heater taking forever to get everything warm. So, yeah, ignore all the mess. It will continue to get better. But I wanted to talk and just kind of chat about random stuff going on here and show off like the bronze truck is almost done and is looking impressive. I even got the front sway bar set up, and there we go. Like it still flexes, but it definitely will help it when it's thrown around with Linian. Well, basically a really big brushless for the size of this thing. So yeah, on to the next cut. A little oversprung in the back, but it's good enough for me being tired to get to where it's literally a sellable RC in an evening. Hello. So, hold on a sec. Yeah. So, amongst cleaning up the hobby room and just getting everything put together for long term projects and, well, cleaning up the mess and stuff, we've got the long term, like, drift tonka and my stadium truck thing over here. But for the most part, I'm down to just dealing with all these extra radios. And I've got a few different friends who are like, someone's buying that with this cool Futaba that I really wanted to show you guys. So this is old enough. I think they were called a Futaba Brownie or something. Like this and a few other style ones they had. I think were called like a Brownie because they're like a little square. So what's really cool with this is it's so old that they had different modules at times to where you could change like the different frequency or I think from AM to FM, and it was just this little module you pull out the back. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but they should unclip relatively easy. We're gonna cut here. There we are. So, what I was talking about, these little modules pop out, and you can change in, like, what my one friend's going to be doing with this is a 2.4 gig, like, module that he'll retrofit fitting into this. So, I am curious if this crystal actually matches anything I've got extra of, because he's like, I'm not going to keep this, I'll just display it. So, we'll see. But, yeah, it was just really cool. There's only, like, 5 pins that, if we can get down to it, there we go. Yeah, 5 pins, and that's basically it. Works with however this is for resonance for the crystal, and makes it all work. So yeah, trying to show off this thing or any other cool thing about it before I get this thing boxed up for him. So yeah, big enough you could put them on the like picnic table and fly your airplane around, and yeah, landing gear and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm just kind of rambling. I am tired, so we'll get to the other radios at some point, and I'll bug you guys later on, okay? Later. Ah. Yes. Okay, before NyQuil finally takes me out for the night, I found a back cover for the batteries, and I accidentally put the wrong length of antenna on the back, so I figured while I had the back of this off to pull the other antenna out and put the longer one in, you guys can kind of see how these are put together and so forth. So I'm just going to move the front toggle around. So I'll do this. Cool, right? So basically what we're seeing is the lower half, or the lighter gray piece, is what is tied to the toggle here, and it's just pushing on this little lever here with the return spring. See? And then, yeah, I can't swivel it down. Some you can actually pivot to like X and Y directions, and this one's, yeah, same way. Nothing too complicated. What we've got going on for either of these like controls is a little potentiometer that anything off of 0 in either direction will send an input off of one of the 3 wires here. One of them is a constant like 0 or ground essentially, and it just basically runs to the board and tells that input to basically transmit from whatever crystal this had in it, which I believe the crystal is on the other side here. I don't know if we'll be able to pick this up too easily. Some of these are kind of glued in with hot glue. There we go. Yep, see, there's our crystal. So basically, we tell, like, say the remote was turned around, I went like this, it would basically transmit that same input into the receiver, then out to the servo to, say, steer the wheel to turn left or something. I don't know. Just cool stuff from history, because there's a lot more to these remotes these days than just this is nothing. So that's all. I'm gonna get this all packaged up and gonna throw the longer antenna on this. Try and do this with one hand. It's not exactly the easiest thing because there's always crud in the actual like housings of these. Come on. Like a glove. There we are. See? And throw that on. Well, I gotta get it all to fit, but you get the point. So, yeah. There. Don't. It's gonna fall over. There you go. Alright, I'm gonna cut it here. See ya.